My friend, this has just turned Buffalo upside down. Just when it seemed like things were starting to stabilize, a new internal decision, totally unexpected, exploded behind the scenes at the Bills, leaving fans, the press, and even players in disbelief. One of the most important names on offense has been benched again. And this isn't just a technical decision. There's much more behind it. And I just received hot information from inside the franchise that no one is talking about yet. But before I tell you why this hope has returned, what the real atmosphere is between McDermott and the player, and how this completely changes the plans for Week 12, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell, because what I'm about to reveal is simply unbelievable. In a week filled with tension, tough coaching decisions, and a growing sense of urgency within the One Bills drive, the Buffalo Bills are once again making headlines in the NFL, and not for the reasons fans expected. According to new information from Cover One, second-year wide receiver Keon Coleman is expected to be benched for the second consecutive game this Thursday night. And this time, it has nothing to do with injuries. It's all a matter of discipline. Coleman, the 33rd overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, shocked Buffalo Bills fans last Sunday when he was left out of the 44-32 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, several international sources confirmed that the same fate awaits him in the primetime game against the Houston Texans. What began as a team decision has turned into a bigger story, one that goes far beyond a simple last-minute meeting. Because according to internal team sources, Coleman didn't just arrive late. He reportedly arrived after the team meeting on Friday had already begun, a violation that coach Sean McDermott addressed shortly after the game against the Buccaneers. That was my decision. It's disappointing, but I still believe in the kid. I give players a chance to show who they really are. But when this happens again, that's when I step in. This is the third time Coleman has been penalized in his short career, and the second time this season. This is not the trajectory anyone expected for a player who was once seen as Buffalo's future WR1. When he entered the league, analysts described him as a potential pillar of the franchise. Today, he is a young talent learning hard lessons in a league that punishes every slip-up. And it's even more frustrating because Coleman's season started strong. In the first week against Baltimore, he dominated with 8 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Buffalo fans thought they were witnessing the emergence of a star. But since that explosion, Coleman hasn't managed more than 50 yards in receptions in 8 consecutive games. His production has stagnated, his role has waned, and his consistency has evaporated just when Buffalo needed him to shine. Still, the numbers show he remains an important piece of the offense. Second on the team in receptions, 32, third in yards, 330, and tied for second in touchdowns, 3. He's contributing, just not at the WR1 level he was touted to be at the start of the year. Now, with the Bills at 7-3 and entering the most critical phase of the season, Coleman's absence creates a huge gap in a receiving core that's already dangerously depleted. The real question in Buffalo is, if Coleman goes back to the bench, who will take the lead? Who will be next on the field? Because the Bills don't just need players. They need impact. They need reliability. I need someone who can help Josh Allen keep the offense afloat as injuries mount and the playoff race intensifies. And that question, who will replace Coleman, leads directly to the next big piece of news, one that could reshape Buffalo's receiving core overnight. And if Keon Coleman is out again, then the question is inevitable. Who will save this group of receivers? Because a veteran name has just emerged on the market. While the Bills continue to grapple with the internal fallout surrounding Keon Coleman, our story is emerging, one that could offer Buffalo a lifeline, just as its receiving corps is on the brink of collapse. A new veteran receiver has officially hit the free agent market, and the timing couldn't be more opportune. According to reporter Nick Underhill, the New Orleans Saints and veteran WR Brandon Cooks have reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract, placing him on the NFL's waiver list. And suddenly, the Bills have a decision to make, and quickly. The urgency is real because Buffalo's wide receiver situation has gone from worrying to near critical. Coleman has been benched again. Joshua Palmer continues to struggle and hasn't delivered the leap in quality the coaching staff hoped for. And Mecole Hardman, the team's most recent signing, suffered an injury after playing just 1 game. In a season where Buffalo desperately needs consistency, the offense is grappling with instability, lack of roster depth, and constant turnover. Enter Cooks, a name that once carried the weight of a Pro Bowl player, a receiver with 6 seasons of over 1,000 meters, explosive speed, and the experience of a veteran. Yes, at 31, he's no longer the explosive threat he once was, and his 2025 season is far from impressive. Just 19 receptions for 165 vessels in 10 games. But context matters. The Saints' quarterback situation has been a complete disaster this season, and the offense has struggled even to operate at a basic level. In other words, Cooks hasn't had many chances to shine, even though he still has something to offer. And that's where the Bills come in. Buffalo doesn't need Cooks to be a superstar. It needs him to be consistent, reliable, and able to give Josh Allen a competent veteran presence while the younger receivers of the time establish themselves. With the AFC playoff race tight and the Bills 7-3, every game from here on out will carry immense weight. A single drive, a single mistake, a single poorly run route can change the course of a game and potentially the season. But here's the problem. The priority for waivers. Buffalo is 26th in line. That means they have 25 chances to sign Cooks before the Bills even get to him, and several of those chances, including the Steelers, Buccaneers, and Texans, could greatly benefit from the help of a receiver. For Brandon Beane, this becomes a strategic gamble. Submit a request, hope the priority order is favorable, and pray that no other opportunity ahead of him is accepted. The big question is whether Cooks still has enough stamina to help. The decline is real, the risk is real, but it's also a necessity. At this point in the season, the Bills can't afford to be selective. But even before thinking about reinforcements, the Bills received another piece of news that changes everything for Thursday. An injury list has exploded. While Buffalo grapples with the uncertainty surrounding Keon Coleman and the possibility of signing veteran Brandon Cooks, available on the free agent market, the team now faces an even more alarming development, one that threatens to reshape the entire offensive game plan just hours before kickoff. The injury report for Week 12 has been released, and the news couldn't have come at a worse time. Coach Sean McDermott stated that 3 key offensive players are officially out for Thursday night's crucial matchup against the Houston Texans. T.E. Dalton Kincaid, hamstring. W.R. Curtis Samuel, injury sustained last Sunday, injured after his first game with Buffalo. This is a catastrophic scenario for an offense that already shows little stability. With only light practice during a short week of preparation, Buffalo has had almost no time to adjust, rework plays, or develop alternative plans. And now, with 3 versatile players unavailable, the Bills are being forced to improvise on the fly, a dangerous situation in a game of noble positioning with major implications for the playoffs. Kincaid's absence is especially painful. He has been one of Josh Allen's most reliable targets in 2025, a guarantee of safety on third down and a nightmare for opposing defenses. Curtis Samuel has been one of the most adaptable weapons in Joe Brady's system, playing in various positions from the slot to the backfield. And Hardman, although recently signed, brought the speed the Bills so desperately needed, and which has now been lost again due to injury. With Samuel and Hardman out of action, the Buffalo Bills will transfer kickoff return duties to running backs Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. Coaches are also considering promoting return specialist Brandon Codrington from training camp, a move that highlights just how depleted the roster is becoming in practice. But this is where the situation gets even more dramatic. Keon Coleman may suddenly have a chance to return to the field. Despite being sidelined for disciplinary reasons, the Bills may need him simply because there aren't enough catchers for the offense to function at full capacity. His return wouldn't be planned, it would arise out of necessity. And in the NFL, necessity often creates opportunity. Meanwhile, the defense is finally stabilizing. The unit is as healthy as it has been since Ed Oliver's injury, and Houston is expected to field backup quarterback Davis Mills, as C.J. Stroud is still out of concussion protocol. This gives Buffalo's defense a potential advantage, but only if the offense can maintain its momentum and prevent the game from stagnating. With all these problems, Keon Coleman's suspension, the possible arrival of Brandon Cooks, and the avalanche of injuries before Thursday Night Football, do you think the Buffalo Bills will be able to overcome this critical phase and maintain their playoff run? Or are we seeing the beginning of a dangerous decline in the season? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.